What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of XG's debut EP, New DNA. XG have made a lot of noise in a very short amount of time since debuting with just a single or two in 2022, and it's been a really interesting, I think, kind of rise and just an interesting group in general. I like XG. I've liked a lot of their singles. I think the music is really fun, and it's kind of in its own little lane, which is really enjoyable and cool that somebody new can rise up and find something new to do, new kind of spin with the music. Also, very interesting with the whole concept of this group. It's a 7-member group. All the members are Japanese, and yet they're managed by a Japanese company. The record label is a subsidiary of Avex, the big J-pop media conglomerate, and yet XG is based in Korea and seemingly targeting K-pop audiences, performing at KCON LA in the United States, performing at the Head in the Clouds music festivals in the US this year as well, seem to be targeting K-pop audiences, K-pop industry in general, K-pop, music shows too, and yet they're making music in English and they're managed and all from Japan. So I think kind of interesting example of how Southeast Asian music is getting more global and I guess homogenized in a certain sense. I do find it a bit interesting that they're not even targeting Japanese audiences that much. It seems pretty clear. We don't really see that right now. Anyway, I think what's cool about XG, despite their multinational organization and whatnot, what's interesting about XG is the music. And to me, it's the type of, I'm going to call them K-pop, even though I know there's an asterisk there. It's the type of K-pop that I like because it's very hip-hop heavy and it's just kind of right up my alley. I think XG, these women, they're some of the best rappers in K-pop, broader K-pop right now. And that's really fun. They're giving you trap beats like the whole time and they're just rapping on them. Sometimes they're like dropping ad libs, like they're like really doing it, and intersplicing that with some broader pop leaning music, some R&B influence as well. It's really appealing. They haven't released a whole lot of music yet, and of this New DNA debut EP, 6 songs, 3 of them are new, one of those of which is really just an interlude. So it's really only 2 new songs. Those 2 new songs would be X Gene and Puppet Show, which got the music video, joining previously released singles Girl Gang, TGIF, and New Dance, as well as the interlude Heisonu. I think just kind of going through these tracks, X Gene, production-wise, kind of stands out right away because it's almost like an epic, like sci-fi movie type vibe. The way it starts, going right into the rap flows. And I think these ladies are really cool because they all have different flows. They kind of switch up that energy, switch up that delivery on you as they trade bars within like the space of a full verse or something like that. The ad libs are just really fun and like you just don't hear them that often in K-pop music. Pretty cool. Girl Gang, I think this is just a really catchy, hip hop banger. The second verse, the flow is awesome. This is just all flexing, all braggadocio. In general, like lyrically, XG is like, you could call it shallow. It's simple, let's say, but like, I don't know, the flexing stuff to me is just really fun from them. I think Girl Gang, the hook in particular, very catchy. I like this one a lot. TGIF, I think the rap verse and the second rap verse really stands out here. And the hook, again, there's just catchy elements to some of this writing, Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky. I call it true. Like I love the swag on these songs. New Dance. This is probably the best song they've released to me. There's been a lot of love for one of the earlier singles, Shooting Star, as well as Left Right, and they've got some high-profile remixes already as well with Sierra and Rico Nasty, and Jackson Wang. Despite all that, to me, New Dance is awesome because this is very up-tempo, probably their most pop-leaning of all the recent songs. Almost kind of like a throwed-out pop-leaning song, and despite all that, they're combining that still with like verses with bars. And I think just like the whole vibe on this song is really catchy, and I think that's one that's going to kind of rise up those playlists and really do numbers for XG. They're already seemingly a pretty successful group with playlisting on streaming. I'd expect that to continue with New Dance, which is only released as a single just a few weeks ago. And then the latest new song, really, after XG, is Puppet Show. And to me, this is kind of like a show of what's to come from XG as a group in terms of like creatively and musically, like what can they do? Because the hook is a bit of a different vibe, um, and like I think just the overall style that they're giving you on this is really, again, catchy. This is a fun music video as well. I think one note people have had with this group is some of the hair and some of the general like aesthetics they're putting on, where like some people think they're trying too hard to be quote hip hop. Of course, I would say just be yourselves, don't appropriate anything culturally, and just do what you gotta do, because I think the flow is good. I think they have rap ability, and it sounds cool. I think in terms of the vision for this group, in terms of what people are trying to accomplish with XG, I guess in a sense it's a little unclear because there's only been so much music, but I think just the catchiness and the really willingness to dive into making like K-pop, hip-hop bangers that also, of course, have some choruses and sung elements to them, but like really leaning into the trap production, I think is what's really setting apart XG for sure, for me. And the fact that, again, the rappability is good and backing it up, I think actually makes it pretty exciting. So definitely an artist, a group, that came out of nowhere. Again, the whole Japanese group operated in Korea, targeting Korean audiences, targeting Western audiences with mainly English songs. It's a bit of an interesting strategy. We'll see how all of that shakes out. But XG, New DNA, XG in general, I'm a fan. Let me know. How did you feel about XG's New DNA? What do you want to hear from this group moving forward as we hopefully approach a full-length album soon? And for more K-pop reviews, music reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.